Imagine a world where entire coastlines are underwater, intense storms are the norm, and life as we know it has to adapt to extreme weather. This isn't science fiction. It's a glimpse into our future if we don't act now.
Today's report laid bare that climate change is happening now on an unprecedented scale.
With fires raging around the world, in Greece and Turkey and in California.
The UN has warned the world is on track for what it calls a catastrophic 3.1 degrees Celsius of warming.
Rising sea levels and shrinking glaciers and Arctic sea ice are irreversible for centuries.
Climate change refers to the significant change in global temperatures and weather patterns over time. While this has happened throughout Earth's history, its current changes are unprecedented in speed and scale. All this due to human activities.
So, how does this affect us in Malaysia and beyond? Let's start with one of the most alarming signs, the melting of Antarctica.
Antarctica, the world's coldest and most isolated continent, is warming at a very alarming rate. Sheets of ice are melting, releasing massive amounts of water into our oceans. Every year, as ice melts, sea level rises, pushing us to a point where low-lying areas are at risk of being submerged.
Now, let's look closer to home at the potential impact of these rising seas on Malaysia.
By 2030, projections suggest that Malaysia, especially those in coastal areas, could experience frequent flooding or even partially submersion. Kuala Lumpur, Penang, Pahang, and other coastal cities are at high risk.
This isn't just about land discipline. It's about the communities displaced, livelihood lost, and massive economic impacts. The future of Malaysian agriculture, trade, tourism, and all other crucial areas are all severely affected.
Climate change doesn't respect borders. It's impacting the entire region, bringing intense weather events and new challenges.
In neighboring countries, extreme weather events are becoming more common. Indonesia faces frequent flooding, the Philippines experiences intense typhoon, and Thailand sees more unpredictable weather. All of this is a wake-up call. One country alone can't tackle this. Real progress requires us all to act.
Let's take a look at some of the most primary causes for climate change. Number 1. The burning of fossil fuels such as oils, coals, and natural gases for purposes such as heat, electricity, and transportation release carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Second, deforestation. As we know, trees absorb carbon dioxide. Cutting them down not only reduces this capacity, but also releases the stored carbon inside of them. Other than that, agricultural and industrial practices that emit toxic gases such as nitrous oxide, carbon monoxide, and other potent gases into the atmosphere. We have caused this, but that also means that we can change this.
What are the direct impacts of climate change towards human and the planet? First and the most obvious one, rising of sea levels. This may cause reshaping of coastline and displacement of millions of people. Second, loss of biodiversity. As the ecosystem pushes towards its limit, countless species faces endangerment and extinction. Third, impact to human health. As climate change increases, waterborne disease and respiratory illness increase, while heat waves poses risk towards humans.
If we ignore these signs, our children and future generations will inherit a world that's very different from what we know today. We can fight climate change through government actions and individual choices. Governments worldwide need to commit to reducing emissions, enforcing environmental protection policies, and shifting to renewable energy.
And we, as individuals, can actually reduce the energy consumption by using efficient appliances such as walking or biking whenever possible, depends on the distance. Other than that, we can also support reforestation and the conservation projects. It is because every tree planted helps to absorb the CO2. Last but not least, we have to reduce waste, recycling, or even use sustainable products whenever it's possible, such as whenever we're going out for shopping, we can use the shopping bags and not plastic bags.
The most effective change happens when people work together. Spread awareness, join organizations fighting for climate action, and push for policies that prioritize the environment.
Climate change is one of the biggest challenges humanity has ever faced. But together, we can slow down its impact and build a future that we and the generations to come can thrive in. It's time to wake up and act now. Our future depends on it.